Imagine you are taking a quiet walk along the beach in North Carolina. Just you, the sand, and the waves. Looking down, you spot a group of white shells. Someone has carefully arranged them to form 4 numbers: 8, 6, 4, 7. Former FBI Director James Comey saw those shells, took a photo, and posted it on Instagram. That single post resulted in a federal grand jury indictment that carries a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison. To understand how the law actually works, hit that subscribe button, because we need to look at how a picture of beach debris turns into a criminal case against the former head of the FBI. The timeline begins in May 2025. Almost immediately after Comey uploaded the photo, online critics connected the dots. They identified the 47 as a reference to the 47th president, Donald Trump. Prosecutors alleged the 86 was intended as slang for assassination or elimination. Comey deleted the photo immediately. He claimed he only saw it as a generic political message and didn't realize the numbers were associated with violence. Despite the prompt deletion and apology, the matter didn't end there. In the days following the online outcry, the Department of Justice announced it was opening a formal federal investigation. What does the term 86 actually mean? If you look at the historical and linguistic records, the definition is far from settled. Merriam-Webster traces the term to 1930s soda counter slang. Back then, it simply meant an item was sold out. If you were out of coffee, you 86'd the order. Another theory points to a Prohibition-era speakeasy called Chumley's. When a customer got too drunk, the staff would eject them out the door at 86 Bedford Street. They were 86th from the premises. Politicians across the spectrum use the term today to describe political defeat. Representative Matt Gaetz recently used it to describe removing Kevin McCarthy and Mitch McConnell from their leadership roles. He faced 0 legal scrutiny for it. To treat 86 specifically as a death threat, you have to ignore nearly a century of common, non-violent usage in the service industry and American politics. There is a strict boundary in the First Amendment. On one side of this scale is political hyperbole, which is protected speech. On the other is a true threat, which is not. In cases like Counterman v. Colorado, the Supreme Court set the bar very high. To be a crime, a statement must convey a serious, real possibility that violence will follow. The burden on the government to prove this is significant. Prominent constitutional scholars have looked at the seashell post. Their conclusion is that it simply does not meet the legal threshold required for a true threat. This leaves the Justice Department in a difficult legal position. They are moving forward with a federal indictment that scholars argue cannot survive a basic constitutional challenge. The Justice Department spent 11 months investigating the shell photo before going to a grand jury. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche is the top official leading the effort. The DOJ's strategy is to prove Comey had a specific, violent intent. They plan to use witnesses, documents, and Comey's own history to make their case. Prosecutors are confident they can prove that intent, despite the fact that the only physical evidence is a deleted photo of a beach walk. This raises a question. Why spend a year of federal resources on a prosecution that legal experts say is destined to be thrown out of court? To understand the strategy, you have to look past the courtroom verdict. The goal may not be a conviction at all. There is a concept in law and politics where the legal process itself becomes the punishment. The indictment triggers a cycle of damage that doesn't require a guilty verdict to be effective. The defendant is forced to pay millions in legal fees, endure months of emotional exhaustion, and face constant public attacks. These costs accumulate every day the case stays open, even if it eventually collapses. In this scenario, winning the case in front of a jury is irrelevant. The ordeal itself effectively neutralizes a political opponent. Grave, this prosecution serves as a warning to other critics. It demonstrates that the Justice Department can be used to make life miserable for those who step out of line. If the government can issue an arrest warrant over a picture of seashells, what is to stop them from using that same power against anyone else?